Good afternoon. One decade ago, 1999, I had my introduction to the AVID program in my first summer institute as a teacher from Memphis City Schools. One of my English classes would be replaced by an AVID elective class, and I was not sure how this new program would impact the normal planning and teaching that I regularly did. 3 years later, 2002, the AVID program was added to the dreaded box, that huge box in which all the new ideas, new programs, and next best things met their untimely demise. I shed no tears for the loss of AVID. I had things to do and test scores to improve. Losing AVID gave me the opportunity to go back to the real world full time. I would no longer have that something else to do for AVID. Fast forward 2007. I found myself interviewing for an English position in Texarkana Independent School District. I smiled proudly as my resume and portfolio were reviewed, and then the news was broken to me. There were no English positions open in the district. But wait, there is a full-time AVID position open, and we see that you have experience. Why hadn't I removed AVID from my resume? Full-time AVID? No. I was an English teacher, and I will admit to you today that I had an English ego. Haven't you heard? English teachers rule the world. After being convinced by my husband Ricky, my district director Carolyn Moore, and others to take a chance and become the AVID teacher, I decided I was going to give it my 100% absolute best effort. Still though, I felt in some ways that I had been demoted. When my new co-workers asked, "What do you teach?" I answered, "I'm an English teacher, but I'm teaching AVID this year." I entered my classroom with all the enthusiasm I could muster. I had decided to make the AVID program at Texas High School outstanding. However, I found that my AVID students didn't want to work hard. They were doing just enough to get by, and quite frankly, wanted me to stay out of their way and to operate AVID much like a study hall is operated. ACT scores were not important, and they were putting forth very little effort in AP classes. One day, someone in class started a sentence with, "If I go to college." If. I went home to reflect on the day, to figure out what I could do to motivate my AVID students and to change their complacent and lackadaisical attitudes. I knew that I would have to bring out the big guns, my suitcase. You see, this wasn't a real suitcase, but a metaphorical suitcase that my mother packed for me years ago and that she continues to pack for me today. My mother pushed my sister and me to do our very best and to never settle for mediocrity. "I didn't raise average girls," she would say. I knew many of my AVID students had never had anyone say that to them. My mom nurtured a love of reading. We often received books for Christmas instead of Barbies. Many of my AVID students had only read SparkNotes summaries of books, and no one had read to many of them. My role as an AVID teacher became clear at that time. I had to become my mother. I had to be my mother for my AVID students. My own suitcase was full and heavy, and I had to start packing theirs. They would be going into the real world soon with empty suitcases, and I couldn't allow that to happen. I would slam my suitcase on the top of my desk and pull out whatever my AVID students needed. Inside my suitcase, there was not if you go to college, it's when you go to college. And if you say you can't, you're absolutely right. Now try it again. You can do anything you want to do, but it comes with hard work. There is a difference between you did it and you did it well. C's are average, and you are not average. And one of my favorites, I wish you would. But It only works if you squint your eyes and say it through clenched teeth, okay? Someone will practice that later, I know. As content area teachers, we work hard to send our students away with the tools they need to be successful. Sometimes, if we're lucky, we get to pack a few suitcases. Other times, though, because of standards and testing and more standards and more testing, we manage to send our students to the next grade with only an overnight bag in the hope that someone else will add a little bit more to it. Through AVID, I've had the opportunity to work with a group of amazing young people, many of whom have grown into ideal AVID students and wonderful citizens. They work hard, serve the community, and support one another. At the end of the school year, my curriculum principal, Mr. Schrader, was discussing my year and making plans for the next. He knew that my background was English and that I missed teaching it for 1 year. He asked if I wanted to go back to English full-time for the 08-09 school year or if I wanted to stay in AVID. I had an out-of-body experience. I heard myself say, if I can teach English and AVID, that would be great. Whoa. May 30th, 2009. The first AVID seniors of our district graduated from Texas High School. Most of them are headed to college, and the other 3 have joined the military. I have to mention also that we had a Gates Millennium Scholar in our AVID class who received the $450,000 scholarship. So we're really proud. They are not my students. They are my family. I have stuffed their suitcases with as many things as I could. My cell phone number, so that they can text me when they forget what a hyperbole is, or when they just want to say hi. My email address, and an abundance of support, love, self-discipline, self-respect, common sense, and the skills and heart to take the most difficult aspects of life, overcome them, and experience success. Though I still love teaching English, AVID has taught me that there is neither a singular skill nor a singular subject area that has unlimited power. It is the suitcase packers and the suitcase packers alone who rule and change the world. May you, suitcase packers, continue to gather the necessities you need for your students, pack their bags with the things that they don't even realize they need, and hopefully inspire them to pack someone else's suitcase later on in their lives. Thank you.